What's going on, everybody? It's your buddy, it's your pal Spaz, Phoenix, the CWC reality check with a topical video of sorts. I haven't done these videos for you guys in a while because nothing's really jumped out and grabbed me. When I do these videos, people have asked me before, you know, why do you take yourself so seriously? Now you're doing news, whatever. Basically, I'm not doing news. I'm not even really doing rumors. I'm doing my reaction to what may or may not be true about what this person may or may not be doing or may not have said. It's one of those, okay, I heard this whispered out into the wind. If it's true, this is what I would think of it, type of thing. So it's very, I want to underscore very bluntly that I'm not up here trying to be the next Sean's View, trying to be the next JD from NY. You know, you want stuff like that. My honest suggestion to you guys is go check out OKayfabe. This is just literally rumors on my part, and obviously I'm scattered because, you know, I'm over here reading shit because I want to give my sources and whatnot and whatever else. Basically, return of two divas, or sorry, women's wrestlers that I'm really excited about on Raw that desperately need it. And some interesting comments from Cesaro, and obviously I didn't do a review for the Cruiserweight Classic finale because I wasn't able to. The timing didn't work in my favor there. So Cruiserweight Classic is really the, you know, the one thing that's not going to come from any of this. Cruiserweight Classic, very simply awesome, as everybody's saying. I was a bit of a dick on Twitter when the Cruiserweight Classic was going down, when the two semifinals went down, and Kota Ibushi and Zack Sabre Jr. were both eliminated. I said, you know, the Smarks are probably crying in their own tears. You know, these are the, this is the thing. These are the guys that are like, that guy has to win. That guy has to win. I've been following that guy for 27 years and da-da-da-da, and TJ Perkins is a nobody, and he's from NXT, or not from NXT, from TNA. Why the fuck would they ever push anybody from TNA? I don't know, Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, etc. And then Grand Metalik, I think it was Chase Oliver 68 that said, you know, masks and t-shirts sell more than just masks on their own, or sorry, than just t-shirts on their own. Which is a great point, and I'm pretty sure Grand Metalik has also signed with WWE. This is the thing, and this is where I go to other sources and radio shows and whatnot. You guys know I listen to the Taz show a lot. Point blankly, Zack Sabre Jr. and who's the other one? Kota Ibushi apparently are not signed with WWE. So why would you give them, you know, an over on somebody that you've just signed to be part of this division? Why would you have them become the champion and then not be able to defend on the show because they're not contracted to your show? For me, honestly, and I'm very split on this, I liked the Cruiserweight Classic because, as you guys know, I don't watch the indies. I'm not familiar with a lot of these guys, but it gave me a little glimpse of a couple of guys that I've, you know, never seen before, never heard before. I told you guys I was very entertained by the Bollywood Boys, as an example. I grew an appreciation for Rich Swann and Cedric Alexander. I hope they become a wicked tag team on the main roster. That could be a thing as well. But I can't lie and say to you that I was pulling for the guys that I knew. I was pulling for a Brian Kendrick. I was pulling for a Tajiri. Really, we got some great stuff from Ciampa and Johnny Gargano. But, you know, they're pursuing their tag team ranks over in NXT, which I thought was great. TJ Perkins, and it didn't hit me until about halfway through his first match where the name came from, and that it had formerly been Manic, aka Suicide, in TNA, and they fucked that character up pretty royally, didn't they? But, you know, they started focusing on his story, and you sort of start seeing things particulate in the mind. You know, why are they focusing so heavy? Like, they focused on everybody's story, don't get me wrong. They did a great job of, you know, giving everybody a story, giving everybody something. Even if it was something as simple as I go back to my example of the Bollywood Boys a second ago. Here's these guys, they want to be true to their heritage, but they want to bring some fun to it. That's why they chose the Bollywood, you know, the glitz and glam angle of that. But the more they went on, the more they really focused on TJ Perkins, which I thought was really cool. Because if you see, I've heard these names before. Akira Tozawa, Kota Ibushi, Zack Sabre Jr., Noam Dar, Jack Gallagher. These are all names that I've heard out of the mouths of other people in the YWC that watch the indies, that come with a lot of praise and da-da-da-da-da. Much like a Hideo Itami or a Shinsuke Nakamura or an Asuka or a Finn Balor or a Kevin Owens or a Sami Zayn. I got my preview from you guys, not from the television. And these were all big names from what I could gather, like, that had done all these great things. And you didn't really hear anybody say anything about TJ Perkins. And I'm like, this is one of those guys, you know, I don't think Brian Kendrick's going to hang around. I don't think Tajiri's going to hang around. Gargano and Ciampa are going to go in a different direction. And I said a couple videos ago, after his match with... This is the problem with trying to do videos off the cuff. After his match with Johnny Gargano... Sorry, brain fart there for a second. I said it knowing that I was probably going to be wrong, but I kind of said to you guys at the time, TJ Perkins is my guy. When he went on and he was facing Kota Ibushi, which everybody was saying was the favorite to win the whole thing, I'm like, okay, they could really surprise me, or they could go with what the fans are saying. And, you know, Daniel Bryan mentality means, oh, they're really going to do what the fans cheer for, aren't they? And then they didn't. And it was good. And then he went on to face Grand Metalik, and I thought, you know, are they going to do this for me twice? Because we all know, we all sit back, we all talk in the YWC about, wouldn't it be cool if they did, they're probably going to do this, but wouldn't it be cool if they did this? And WWE gave me about 3 straight rounds of my, wouldn't it be cool if they did this? Which was really good, but then you get into people that are like shitting on it. Well, he didn't really win it. He won it because he signed and the other guys didn't. He didn't really win it. He won it because he speaks English and Grand Metalik doesn't. And it's like, fuck off. The guy had 2 great outings back to back. I promise you. And this is where I'll invite a little conversation down in the comment section. What was your favorite match of the entire CWC? I know there was a lot of... there was a Cedric Alexander match that everybody thought was really great. It was the one where Triple H came out at the end and raised his hand and sort of gave us all a wink and a nod, you know, like this guy's not going anywhere type thing. A lot of people, and that was a good match, don't get me wrong, but I didn't have the investment of, hey, I'm at least familiar with this guy, that a lot of other people did. My personal 2 picks, and they're both TJ Perkins matches, would be TJ Perkins versus Johnny Gargano and TJ Perkins versus Kota Ibushi in the finals. Close third would be the match that Gargano and Ciampa had against each other in the first round, which I thought was a little retarded, but it is what it is. Ibushi versus Brian Kendrick with the whole emotional Daniel Bryan thing, it was nice. But Triple H comes out at the end, announces the formation of the Cruiserweight Championship belt. It got a bit redundant with the titles, I will say, with the semi-finalists getting the medals and then the winner getting the trophy and the belt. And there was a lot of hardware for TJ Perkins to walk around with, I'm not going to lie. I like that they gave Triple H, they gave William Regal and the other people involved in the CWC a chance to sort of get their kudos from the fans. I thought that was really nice. Again, assholes saying, oh, here's Triple H trying to steal all the shine from these new guys. Well, he's the one that's giving them the opportunity. He should get the shine. You know, there's 1 or 2 rare opportunities where Vince McMahon has come out to a standing ovation, and he fucking deserves it, doesn't he? Triple H is the same boat for NXT, CWC. Triple H wants to come out and referee the last match of the CWC, I wouldn't have cared. Triple H wants to walk out in the middle of a takeover and stand in the ring for 2 seconds and get some kudos from the fans. He fucking deserves it, because look what the hell he's done. Cruiserweight Championship and the CWC and NXT are prime examples of how Triple H is basically listening to everything we have to say. That's my personal opinion. If he wants to come out on the show and get some kudos or be the person to hand over that championship, it's great. The championship itself, the purple was a little predictable. The silver looks really nice. I appreciate it on the same level that I appreciate the new SmackDown tag team titles. That bold popping silver off of a darker color makes for a good belt. It's not what we all feared it was going to be. Like, we got the new women's title, the Universal title, and we got 4 different belts that are just big W's, don't we? The men's and women's... the SmackDown and Raw men's title and the SmackDown and Raw women's title are all basically the same belt. This was a little different. It has, I don't know if I'm the only one that's that thinks this, it has a little bit of a sheriff's badge kind of feel to it, because it is like, I think it's either star or hexagon shaped, which is an interesting and unique shape in and of itself, which will set it apart from the other belts. But I think it was good. And when Triple H made his speech about, you know, this is the new era, you know, we're breaking through, this is an underground movement, rah, which is a little bit bullshit, because WWE itself isn't underground. But you know, you get the vibe that he was trying to put out there, and he announced he had the trophy there. He announced the formation of the Cruiserweight Championship belt itself, which I figured they would have had the Cruiserweights on Raw for a few weeks and then had a crowning championship moment. I thought the winner of the tournament was just going to be the winner of the tournament, kind of like a Cruiserweight King of the Ring idea. I like that they used this tournament to crown the first champion. So when we launch the division next week on Raw, or this coming Monday on Raw, we have the figurehead. And TJ Perkins is fucking good. I don't know why. People on the radio have said this, people in articles have said this, and I think Triple H said it in an interview. I know Triple H said it in an interview about Andrade Cien Almas, who's not nearly as great, but he says, you know, look at that guy, the girls love him, he's got a good look, da-da-da-da. What kind of idiot would ever put this guy under a mask? I mean, big dig at TNA, big dig in Cian's case at the Luchador heritage, but we can leave that be as it is. He's creating an image for this kid. You know, it's the biggest rub you can get. You walk in your first day in the WWE proper already as a champion. That's nothing to be sneezed at. It's the Kevin Owens walking in and challenging John Cena while he was still the NXT champion. It's that kind of vibe. You've got instant if you've got a belt around your waist, you've got instant recognition. Now, how prestigious they make that belt is something that'll be shown over time. How the cruiserweights and how they're used gets transformed on the main roster from this, you know, little CWC hub is something left to be seen. But this is an excellent start. I could not, as a fan, I can't be more than happy for TJ Parker there. TJ Perkins, sorry. Why did I say Parker? Watching some Spider-Man videos earlier. Maybe that's a thing. But I think it was great. I think they chose the right guy, to be honest. And my immediate thing is draft Kalisto to Raw and have Kalisto be not necessarily the next champion, but have him be sort of the first. You know, everybody that comes into the company needs a first opponent. Kalisto would be a good first opponent for CJ Perkins. TJ Perkins. Fuck me. Why can't I speak today? You know, I don't know. Ziggler is the one that comes to mind. Ziggler was the first opponent for Dean Ambrose after he became the world champion, and we knew he wasn't going to win, and he didn't. Kalisto wouldn't win in this scenario if I had my way. But I think it would be good to interact these new stars. Like, I think we've got Rich Swann, Cedric Alexander, Grand Metalik, obviously TJ Perkins. I think there's a couple more, but you don't want to have it like the Divas Revolution was, where three girls came up from NXT and fought each other forever in their own little bubble, and everybody else went off and did their own thing. I don't think you want to have that with the cruiser, because you have cruiserweights on Raw and SmackDown already. Integrate them and use that as a platform to make them shine in ways that they haven't done before. Anyways, I've been rambling on that long enough. Congrats to TJ Perkins, and we'll see how that goes on Monday. And my computer is freezing up, obviously. We might have the return of Emma sooner than we thought, according to Steve Carrier of NoDQ.com. As previously reported, Emma aggravated and ruptured a disc in her back on May 8th at a WWE live event and has been recovering from surgery ever since. Recently, Emma noted on Twitter that she's been working out and actually backstage this week on Raw. This could be an indication that she's very close to making her in-ring return to WWE programming. And the rest of that article is about the unfortunate student that passed away at Seth Rollins' wrestling school, which is shitty and not something I'm going to use to try and make views here. I mean, yeah, she's posting from Twitter, she's posting from Instagram, from being backstage. It's not in any ways a, oh my god, she's definitely coming back, like, next week or whatever. But it is, it's different to say, like, oh, she was hanging out backstage and somebody else posted a picture, oh, it was good to see Emma tonight. Like, if she starts doing it herself, I really do hope that means she's coming back, and I really do hope that, honestly, they move her to SmackDown. because SmackDown could use an extra body, and the person we're going to talk about next is definitely coming back to Raw this week. It's not a very big news story, I'll give you that. But I'm a big fan of Emma, so as far as me coming up here, and as I said at the beginning of this video, only giving my opinion on stuff, if I'm a fan of the person, it's big news to me. So hopefully you guys share in that. Let me know down below if and when Emma does come back, if and when she does make her triumphant return to the ring, as it were. Are you guys looking forward to it? Do you guys give a shit? Do you like that she's gone? Because some people are shitty like that. Let me know down in the box below. Next, Paige. So much shit going around about Paige. Alberto Del Rio's gone. There's the rumors going around that she's been blackmailed by WWE to that they're gonna fire her if she doesn't break up with Alberto Del Rio, which is kind of shit. Although the rumors are, depending on who you talk to, that Vince McMahon and Alberto Del Rio parted on good terms. So that I don't really have anything on, so I won't really speak to it. If they are blackmailing her to break up with her boyfriend, that's a friggin' fantastically shitty thing to do. But she's suspended, she's dealing with what she's doing. And Paige, this is according to Aaron Rift of No DQ, Paige issued the following statement online about her status with WWE, and it reads, her quote reads as follows. First, I'd like to thank all my fans for their love and support over the past few weeks. Let me begin by saying that the rumors I'm leaving WWE are completely false! Exclamation marks. Maybe she doth protest too much. I certainly look forward to returning back to the in-ring action at some point once my injury is treated and I'm on a healthy return. I think it's funny that she's injured and she's suspended. She's got two different reasons why she hasn't been on TV in a while, but most of the media vultures only choose to focus on the Del Rio scandal and then the suspension, and not the fact that, whether you like her or you don't, whether you like any wrestler or you don't, this is a person that's fucked themselves up for our entertainment, and the fact that we don't shine more of a light on that is kind of sad in my opinion. Although I was very disappointed by the suspension, I respect the WWE's wellness policy. However, let me be clear that I was not suspended for failing a drug test. It was merely due to a procedural issue. I took the test, I passed it, I arranged for said test to happen after I wasn't home for an extended amount of time. I drove 200 miles to do it. Unfortunately, I didn't get to do it on time. According to, I don't know what AEGIS, I guess is their wellness policy. Once again, thank you for all the love and support. Now, I do, as I said a second ago, I do wish people would focus more on, not focus more, because if you fuck up and you get suspended, people are gonna judge you. That's gonna happen. If you've got a very, very public, almost scandalous relationship going on with a coworker, people are gonna focus on that. But I really wish people would, as I say, focus equal amount on the fact that this is somebody, and it's the old cliche, and wrestling fans are nerds for saying it, but it is completely true. One of these people that puts their bodies on the line for our entertainment fucked themselves up. So in essence, they fucked themselves up for our entertainment. So as much as the judgment has to come on the one side, the sympathy does have to come on the other side, because nobody wants to be dealing with an injury. Sasha Banks was taken out for a month dealing with nagging injuries. Nobody's judging her. People jumped on the bandwagon that she must have been on something, and that's fucking retarded. She is coming back. She's not parting ways with the company. That's a good thing. Put her on Raw. Raw desperately needs something, because, look at Raw's roster. Look at Raw's female roster. Sasha Banks is the whole fucking package, and except she wrestles too fucking hard and fucks herself up a lot. Charlotte is an amazing talent in the ring. She brings some name value to the division, being Ric Flair's daughter, but she's got a personality that's like watching paint dry. Dana Brooke, her assistant, I think has more character than she does, but she's got some some growing to do in the ring. Bayley, that just came up from NXT, is the one that nobody's allowed to touch. Nobody's allowed to say anything bad about Bayley, because she's another one of the NXT golden children. But already you can see that they're changing her character slightly and making her awkward as fuck. That doesn't take away from her in the ring, but that just means one side of the talent is more than the other. And then you got Alicia Fox, who only got pulled out of mothballs so that she could be ran over by Nia Jax. And you've got Nia Jax. Who's Nia Jax? We need something else. We need something to break up the already stale triangle of Sasha, Bayley, and Charlotte, in my opinion. You can bring in Paige either way. She's been heel, she's been face. She can face Sasha, she can face Charlotte, she can face, you know, Bayley. Paige versus Bayley. Why the fuck not? Paige could be used to elevate Dana Brooke before Dana Brooke turns on Charlotte. You could do a lot of things with Paige. Put her on Raw. SmackDown, the reason I said put Emma to SmackDown is purely because I want to avoid them slipping back into NXT storyline. I don't, as much as other people want to see it, I don't think pairing her back up with Dana Brooke on Raw is the best plan. I get that they were a partner. I get that they were never able to play that story out to its fullest extent, which sucks, obviously. But if you bounce her back and forth, she's Emma's sidekick, she's Charlotte's sidekick, she's Emma's sidekick again. Her ever being able to develop an identity as an individual on the roster is going to get harder and harder and harder, because what's going to happen next? Paige is going to turn heel and she's going to be Paige's sidekick or something like that. But yeah, Emma could do better. I want to see Emma versus Nikki Bella. That maybe that's just me, or Emma versus Alexa Bliss, who hopefully by that time will be the SmackDown Women's Champion. Moving on. More move about Paige is a big update on her WWE return. Paige is expected to return to WWE this week, according to PWI Insider. After weeks of speculation about her status with the company, we can now confirm that Paige and WWE officials have been communicating over the past couple of days, and they have booked her to return this week on Raw in Memphis Live. Paige's 30-day suspension was for violating WWE's wellness policy, and it ends actually today, on September 17th. She's also been dealing with injuries over the past few months, which is very, very unfortunate. Again, I got to go back to my sympathy for Paige. If she's been dealing with injuries for months, and she's been dealing with all the controversy over people not liking who her boyfriend is for the past couple of months, you could see it on the show. They didn't book her properly for a long-ass time. She came out like she didn't give a fuck, and she was half of who she used to be in NXT as far as her in-ring work. But if she's not being given a storyline, being shit on by everybody for who she's dating, which is the stupidest reason in the world, and dealing with nagging injuries that she never got a chance to deal with, you can understand why the Paige character was more deflated than it should be. Her returning on this week's Monday Night Raw on today's the 17th, it'll be the 19th. Returning on the September 19th edition of Monday Night Raw, her return, along with the arrival of the Cruiserweight division headed up by TJ Perkins, we're looking at a hell of a Monday Night Raw. Potentially. Let's see how much they can fuck it up. And Cesaro. I know, Cesaro's another one of those guys that I can't really say anything bad about, but during an interview with GMA News, Cesaro was asked if he would ever wrestle Samoa Joe after he injured Tyson Kidd. While he said he would, he also mentioned that Joe's finisher, the Muscle Buster, should be banned from the company. And I quote, "Yes, maybe without the Muscle Buster. There's a couple of moves that are outlawed in the WWE that I think that's definitely one that should have been added, but I've wrestled Samoa Joe before, why not again?" Now, I think this is very funny on a couple of levels, because Cesaro, right now, as much as some people are a fan of him, he's really slipping into irrelevancy for two reasons. Actually, I guess you could say three. A, people loved the tag team of Tyson Kidd and Cesaro. It was a good team. It looked like they were going to go somewhere. B, they've reduced his moveset in the ring to swings and uppercuts, and it's formulaic as shit. And he comes out taped up like a fucking zombie. 3, he's trying to get some headlines, isn't he? He's trying to get some headlines at the expense of Samoa Joe, really, and at the same time trying to benefit from Samoa Joe. Now, what do I mean by headlines? What do I mean by headlines? Headlines are, you know, we were all sad when Tyson Kidd got hurt. We were all sad when Tyson Kidd left the WWE and broke up this team. You know, we gotta play up on that sympathy. Also, you gotta get the sympathy of Cesaro basically calling out somebody as popular as Samoa Joe. Because what has Cesaro done in the past little while? The third point of my Cesaro becoming irrelevant thing, he's feuding with Sheamus. His entire story is he's having 7 matches with Sheamus. So what do? Do I sit here on my laurels and talk shit about Sheamus in a rivalry that nobody cares about, or do I call out somebody that somebody cares about, like Samoa Joe? He's going to call out Samoa Joe. He's going to bring up the guilt of what Samoa Joe did to Tyson Kidd. He's going to play on the sympathy of his ex-tag team partner's injury from the fans and from the audience, etc. And he's going to make a name for himself by, this is the guy that went on Twitter and called out Samoa Joe. But, of course, on the other side of the coin, why is he doing that? Because Samoa Joe's a big name. When he comes to the main roster, it's going to be fucking fantastic. And anybody he gets in the ring with is going to be elevated. So Cesaro won't mind, at that point, getting in the ring with Samoa Joe and getting the rub from somebody that's actually relevant, unlike his current feud with Sheamus. So here he is, shitting on the guy, blaming the guy for Tyson Kidd's injury, using Tyson Kidd's injury and absence to get some sympathy, but at the same time, he'll take the match if it comes along to boost his own career. Dick move by Cesaro, in my humble opinion. The last but not the least is a rumor that I've heard from several people, and I'm sorry I can't cite a source on this. The rumor for the outcome of the Shane McMahon-Brock Lesnar issue. The current rumor being that Shane McMahon will not fight Brock Lesnar, rather at Survivor Series, he will have somebody brand new, a surprise, to fight for him at Survivor Series. And the number one rumor right now for that is, the fuck did I lost my train of thought. The number one rumor for that right now is Shinsuke Nakamura. Now, to my knowledge, these guys have fought in Japan. I haven't seen it. I'm sure it's great. I think that would be a really interesting way to introduce Shinsuke Nakamura to the roster, because the main downside to Shinsuke Nakamura, to some people, and I can understand it, Shinsuke Nakamura has a very big problem with communication because his grasp of the English language isn't that great. Now, he's trying, and he's doing well for a guy that's trying. Go, if you don't listen to it, go listen to the Talk is Jericho podcast. There's an entire hour-long interview with Shinsuke Nakamura, and I didn't have trouble hearing a word or understanding a word. Now, is it broken English? For sure. But, you know, he's trying. But a lot of people, and I can understand it on a mainstream stage, are saying that the fact that he doesn't have a very good grasp of the English language is going to hold him back on the mainstream WWE stage to the casual audience, etc. But here's the thing. If the reason he's there is to be Shane McMahon's representative against Brock Lesnar, all the mic work is going to be done between Shane McMahon and Paul Heyman. Not saying that Shane McMahon, the commissioner of SmackDown, is also going to be managing Shinsuke Nakamura, but he'll talk him through his first main roster feud, and I think that's fucking brilliant. Now, what I will say is, personally, I would rather see Samoa Joe. But Samoa Joe being such a heel character, and Shane McMahon being so over with the audience right now, and Brock Lesnar, as much as we all love him, still being in that heel role with Paul Heyman, it would be very, very hard to sell a heel-on-heel feud, which is the same reaction I say when a lot of people are like, well, Shane's just going to go steal Kevin Owens from Raw. Well, that's not going to happen now because he's Raw's champion. B, because, you know, I don't know. The mic work between Kevin Owens and Paul Heyman would be gold, but I don't know how you sell it. I don't know how you sell Kevin Owens, who's a bad guy, who's very much in league with Triple H, who's the husband of the person running Raw, is so willing to come to SmackDown and fight Brock Lesnar, who's a Raw guy at the end of the day. I don't think you can sell that. And Samoa Joe, I have a very, very similar concern, because Samoa Joe right now, break kayfabe for a second. Triple H runs NXT. Triple H is Stephanie's wife. Why would any of his NXT talent want to help SmackDown? I think Shinsuke Nakamura on the other side of the coin, yes, I'm about to become a hypocrite. I don't think Shinsuke Nakamura is the type of character that would be phased by that. If it happens, it'll be great. The other rumor that we're hearing, and you can hear more about this, go check out JD from NY. He's apparently got a lot of sources that I don't. The other rumor is a temporary Shield reunion happening at Survivor Series. I haven't nearly read enough on that to come up and say anything. But if you've got Shinsuke Nakamura versus Brock Lesnar at Survivor Series, and a potential Shield reunion at Survivor Series, possibly Seth Rollins versus Triple H at Survivor Series, there's a lot of big things we could be building to. And yes, once again, I have to go back to what I said at the beginning of the video. I am biased because I'm going to Survivor Series, and I would love to see Lesnar versus Nakamura. I would love to see Triple H versus Seth Rollins. I would love to see The Shield versus, I don't know, The Club and Kevin Owens or some shit like that. I would love to see all these things. Paige back on the roster. Emma back on the roster. Really hoping that the Cruiserweight division gives Raw a boost. Really hoping that the re-infusing of Emma, who's currently still a Raw star, and Paige will bring a bigger spotlight to that show and help it breathe a little bit, because right now it's sucking a lot of dick. Anyways, that's all I got to talk about today. Guys, put your thoughts about everything that I've talked about down in the box below. Join the conversation, as it were. I've been Spaz, your YWC reality check. Subscribe up there, talk down there, start a conversation. Keep all these conversations going. Don't be a stranger. I'll talk to each and every last one of you later, but for right now, I'm tagging out. Bye, guys.